Well, hello there, you beautiful, beautiful people. I hope you are all well. You're looking absolutely amazing. Look, got to talk about something. Got to talk about something, and we're going to get straight into the meat and potatoes, as this is an important one. If you're a parent, if you're a grandparent, it's difficult in this sort of new age of technology. We've got children, they want to be involved in technology. They want to have phones, they want to have tablets, they want to have access to Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, loads of them, more than I even know because I'm probably too old. But if if you've got children, you'll know how important social media and their technology is to them. Where children used to tell the teachers they wanted to be firemen, doctors, they wanted to be vets, they now want to be YouTubers, they want to be social media influencers. So yes, it's a massive thing. And with technology comes risk. And it's no secret that the risk the internet and social media poses to our children is growing exponentially by the day. As they have access to more things, there are more things that are becoming alarmingly dangerous. And it's not just the young children as well. We're talking about teenagers and young adults that are becoming caught up in tragedy that is stemming from these platforms. So let's get into it. Going to be shocking, but I think it's important that we go through it and learn about it so we can warn our loved ones about it. So here we go. So this is Dead in 6 Hours, how Nigerian sextortion scammers targeted my son. Sextortion is the fastest growing scam affecting teenagers globally and has been linked to more than 27 self-deletions in the US alone. Many of the scammers appear to be from Nigeria, where authorities are defending their actions and are under pressure to do more. It has been 2 years since Jen Buta's son, Jordan, killed himself after being targeted by scammers who lured him into sending them explicit images of himself and then tried to blackmail him. She still can't bring herself to change anything about his bedroom. The 17-year-old's basketball jerseys, clothes, posters, and bed sheets are just how he left them. The curtains are closed, the door is shut to keep memories of him that only a parent would understand. It still smells like him. That's one of the reasons I still have the door closed. I can still smell that sweat, dirt, cologne mix in his room. I'm just not ready to part with his stuff, she said. Jordan was contacted by sextortion scammers on Instagram. They pretended to be pretty girl, his age, and flirted with him, sending sexual pictures to coax him into sharing explicit photos of himself. They blackmailed him for hundreds of pounds to stop them sharing the pictures online to his friends. Jordan sent as much money as he could and warned the sextortionists he would kill himself if they spread the images. The criminals replied, "Good, do that fast or I'll make you do it." It was less than 6 hours from the time Jordan started communicating until the time he ultimately took his life. There's actually a script online, Jen told BBC News, from her home in Michigan in the north of the US, and these people are just going through the script and putting that pressure on. And they're doing it quick because they can move on to the next person because it's about volume. The criminals were tracked to Nigeria, arrested, and then extradited to the US. Two brothers from Lagos, Samuel Ogoshi, 22, and Samson Ogoshi, 20, are awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty to child exploitation charges. Another Nigerian man linked to Jordan's death and other cases is fighting extradition. Jordan's tragic story has become a touch point in the fight against the growing problem of sextortion. Jen is now a high-profile campaigner on TikTok using the account Jordan set up for her to raise awareness about the dangers of sextortion to young people. Her videos have been more than 1 million times. It's fair that sextortion is underreported due to its sensitive nature, but US crime figures show cases more than doubled last year, rising to 26,700, with at least 27 boys having self-deleted themselves in the last 2 years. Researchers and law enforcement agencies point to West Africa, and particularly Nigeria, as a hotspot for where attackers are based. In April, 2 Nigerian men were arrested after a schoolboy from Australia self-deleted himself. 2 other men are on trial in Lagos after the self-deletion of a 15-year-old boy in the US and a 14-year-old in Canada. I know it's quite annoying when we have to swap out certain words. It doesn't take away the importance or how horrible these actions are, but if we don't abide by certain laws, then not enough people will see this video to make a difference, because it will get barred and blocked. So there's method in the madness, as frustrating as it is. In January, US cyber company Network Contagion Research Institute, NCRI, highlighted a web of Nigerian TikTok, YouTube, and Scribd accounts sharing tips and scripts for sextortion. Many of the discussions and videos are in Nigerian pidgin dialect. It's not the first time that Nigeria's young tech-savvy population has embraced a new wave of cybercrime. How many times have you yourself received an email from the Prince of the King of Nigeria, and he wants to lend you $27 million or give you $27 million as long as you give him your bank account number, your credit card details, your address, and send him a photograph of yourself? Yeah, we've all been there, and the scary thing is they send them because some fucker's getting scammed in that method. If things don't work, they won't do them, and that's the important thing to understand here. While things work, these will continue to happen. The term Yahoo Boys is used to describe a portion of the population that use cybercrime to earn a living. It comes from the early 2000s wave of Nigerian print scam emails, which spread through the Yahoo email service. Dr. Tambari Sibe from Digital Footprints Nigeria says cyber fraud such as sextortion has become normalized to young people in the country. There's also a big problem of unemployment and of poverty. All these young ones who don't really have much, it's become almost like a mainstream activity where they don't really think too much about the consequences. They just see their colleagues making money. African human rights charity Devatop has said the current methods of handling sextortion in Nigeria have failed to effectively curb the practice. And a report from NCRI said that celebrating sextortion crimes are an established part of the internet subculture in the country, because they're doing it to foreigners and they think that's funny. That's the be-all and end-all of it. They don't fucking like us, and if they don't like us, they don't care what's happening to us. They just like the fact that they can make money off us. It's as simple as that. An exclusive interview of the BBC, the director of Nigeria's National Cybercrime Centre defended his police force's actions and insisted it was working hard to catch criminals and deter others from carrying out attacks. I'm sure that's the point. I'm sure that's happening. Efiani Henry said his officers were hitting criminals hard, and that it's laughable that anyone should accuse Nigeria of not taking sextortion crime seriously. But this has been going on for fucking years. It's a running joke. If you get a scam email, it's like you will automatically be like, that's come from Nigeria. So this ain't new. This is accelerating and adapting and changing to focus now not only on adults and making money out of the adults and elder people. This is now an adaptation because they realise how many youngsters have access to the internet, and now they can target them as well. So there's no change. This is just getting a bigger industry. There we go. He said Nigerian teenagers are also being targeted. And he argued that the criminals were not just Nigerian problem, with other sextortionists in Southeast Asia. Tackling them would require global support, he said. With that in mind, the director of his technical team are this week visiting the UK's National Crime Agency, which last month issued a warning to children and schools about a rise in sextortion cases. Well, I've not seen anything locally to us, and we have many schools, and none of them, because I've reached out and tried to speak to them and asked whether they've been contacted about this specific incident, and there isn't. They have obviously lessons surrounding online safety, which are pretty simplistic in how they are put across, but not specific to these type of things. Not yet, anyway. We'll see. The visit is designed to improve a collaboration on sextortion and other cybercrime investigations. It follows similar recent meetings with Japanese police. Meanwhile, Jem Butter continues to campaign alongside Jordan's father, John DeMay. They regularly give advice to young people who may become victims. Advice that Jen and many law enforcement agencies regularly give people targeted by sextortionists include: remember, you are not alone and this is not your fault. Report the predator's account via the platform's safety feature. Block the predator from contacting you. Save the profile or messages. They can help law enforcement identify and stop the predator. Ask for help from a trusted adult or law enforcement before sending money or images. Cooperating with a predator rarely stops the blackmail and harassment, but law enforcement can. So, there we go. That's where we are with it. So TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, all of these sites are prevalent in this kind of issue. And your children, if they have access to these, they are 100% at risk. So you need to educate them on it. You need to speak to them about it. You need to show them these sort of articles and show them how prevalent this is. And if you are a parent who has a child that's at an age where you still have some degree of control and monitoring, then utilize that to the best of your ability, because at some point you're going to lose it and it's going to become harder to control. But this lad, do you know what I mean? This isn't an alien thing. This isn't a one-off. This is happening, and it's happening a lot, and it needs to stop. And in order to stop it, parents and adults and schools and everybody needs to get on board with helping to raise awareness of it, because it's going to get worse. We've seen it. I've just spoken about it. It's got worse and it's getting worse. Let's try and do something to prevent it. I'll catch you all in the next one.